Hello witches, Wicked Witch of LA here, and thanks so much for joining me on my channel today. So, I want to continue on a series that I started a while back. It was last year, if I'm not mistaken, or actually earlier this year. But anyway, I was basically gonna make a series on different herbs and plants, resins, and their magical properties and their different correspondences. So I only did one and it was about lavender. So I kind of was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and continue that and be consistent because there are a lot of inconsistencies going on. So I wanted to bring a little bit of consistency back in that. So without further ado, the next herb that I'm going to talk about today is going to be one of my personal favorites, mugwort. Mugwort is amazing. Mugwort is a very, very powerful herb. The scientific name for it is Artemisia vulgaris. I probably just butchered that, so please correct me if I said it wrong. I probably did. Mugwort has a lot of different uses. Some of the associations that it has is it is associated with the planet Venus. It is more inclined to feminine energies and the element of earth. And actually, some of the deities that are tied to mugwort are Artemis and Diana. So if any of you folks work with Artemis or Diana, mugwort would definitely be something to help you out to connect with them a bit more. Now, there are some different folk names associated with mugwort. It's also known as, if I'm not mistaken, like the old naughty man and sailor's tobacco. And it's also known as St. John's plant, not to be mistaken with St. John's wort. Two different things. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'll bring this up closer to you folks. So this is what mugwort looks like, and it feels very soft, very like cottony, almost feels like pillowy, cloudish. I don't know how to describe it. It's very light and fluffy. Does have a nice aroma to it, very, very subtle. And mugwort is used mostly for divination purposes. So a couple other correspondences that it has is that you can actually carry mugwort to increase lust and fertility. A lot of people don't really know that about mugwort. They see it more as a divination herb, which is, it's great for that, but also used for lust and fertility. You can actually place it near your divination tools when you're about to work to increase your abilities. So if you're going to use the tarot, pendulum, if you're into scrying, you can definitely have a little bit of mugwort near you to help increase your abilities in divination and in scrying. And it's also really good to help you with astral projection and astral travels and shamanic journeys. So if you're someone who wants to learn about that, or you've been practicing and need a little boost, you can have a little bit of mugwort. And if you folks watched my previous video on simples, go ahead and check out my previous video before this one on simple spells. You can just have like a little pouch like this and just have some mugwort in there, place it under your pillow or hold it while you astral project. And you're definitely going to see how it's really going to boost your abilities in that. You can also use it actually to cleanse scrying mirrors and crystal balls. So if you take yourself a little, let's say like a bowl of purified, blessed, or holy water, place a little bit of mugwort in it, and then pray over it. Pray like a little cleansing spell. Take the water and sprinkle it onto your crystal ball. You can sprinkle it onto your scrying mirror, or you can sprinkle some onto like a towel, and you can gently wipe your tarot cards. Don't drench it because you don't want to get your tarot cards wet, but just kind of like sprinkle your towel lightly and then kind of like brush it over your tarot cards. Really great way to cleanse and to bless your scrying and divination tools. Now, mugwort is edible. It is safe to consume in moderation. A lot of times it's used by smoking it. So if you're not old enough to smoke, please don't do this. Don't smoke. Smoking is bad for you. But anyway, yeah, so it can be used for smoking. And a lot of people use it to induce prophetic dreams, to help induce shamanic journeys, and again, also to help with divination. So common ways that people will smoke and they'll blow the smoke into the mirror or into the crystal ball to enhance divinatory abilities. It can also be brewed as a tea. It is very safe to drink as a tea, again, in moderation, Too much mugwort can cause upset stomachs, nausea, vomiting, and in extreme cases, it can lead to hospitalization. So please be careful with mugwort. You will see it in some teas sold at the stores, but there's usually not a lot of mugwort. So when you're making mugwort tea, feel free to look online and check the proper measurements on how much, what a safe amount is to consume. But you can definitely make a little mugwort tea and drink it right before you read tarot, right before you scry. And it's a great way to increase your divinatory abilities. Boop, boop. And a couple other things with mugwort is that there are some herbs and stones that they are excellent to pair with. For example, mugwort does have some healing abilities in it as well. So you can actually pair mugwort with lavender to increase spiritual healing. Now, mugwort and lavender together can also be used to conjure spirits. So you definitely want to be careful with your intent, and make sure you verbally say aloud what you're using it for, whether it's to conjure spirits or... I just sneezed on camera, and I'm not going to edit that out because it was funny. So make sure that if you're trying to use this for spiritual healing, really make sure you say it aloud, that this is going to be used for spiritual healing and not for conjuring spirits, because again, this can definitely conjure spirits. You can also pair it with wormwood. Now, wormwood is definitely used for conjuring spirits, especially spirits of the dead, spirits of the ancestors. So when you burn as incense mugwort and wormwood, it's amazing for conjuring spirits. So if you definitely want to summon a spirit, it works really well with summoning spirits of the dead. In traditional witchcraft, we sometimes call them phantom nations of the dead or shades of the dead. So if that's something that you are attempting to do, again, this can work really well for conjuring ancestors. You can definitely go ahead and these two. And if you do want to help, again, with divinatory and psychic abilities, again, this really helps to enhance your psychic abilities, you can pair it with star anise. So again, we can go back to the charm bag, and you can put mugwort and star anise in here to help you with your divination abilities and your psychic abilities. You can also pair mugwort with certain stones to help. These are just a few. Again, there's like a billion stones out there and gems. These are just a few that you can use. So you can use moonstone, the lapis lazuli, and also tiger's eye. So moonstone, lapis lazuli, and tiger's eye. You can use any of these to help with your divinatory abilities, to help with scrying, and also astral projection. Moonstone and lapis especially are very good for astral projecting and shamanic journeys. So again, with the charm bag, you can make a charm bag with mugwort, 1 star anise, and either a moonstone, lapis, to help you in your astral projection journeys. Very, very simple. Mugwort is bitter, just letting you know. Going back to like consuming it is bitter. And when you do burn mugwort, it's pretty smelly. It does not taste very good. So again, just be careful when using it. And another little thing I wanted to share with you folks that you can do with mugwort is that if you're someone who does water scrying, if you folks don't know what a form of water scrying is, you can take your cauldron or a bowl of water and black dye. You can do like a black food coloring. You want to turn the water dark. With scrying, it's really, really helpful when you dye the water. So what I personally use is activated charcoal. You can definitely use activated charcoal to help you with that. And what you can do is that you can take a little bit of mugwort, crush, it's very soft, so it's really easy to crush between your fingers, and sprinkle it into your cauldron or your bowl of water, or whatever else you're placing your water in. And you can use that, to do your water scrying. It helps big time. Again, it could be used to wash and to cleanse your scrying tools and your divination tools. And a couple of folk traditions. Some people used to believe that if you carried mugwort in your pocket, that poisons could not affect you and that you were safe from like wild animals and things like that. we're just gonna wait for that siren to decide to pass by. So sorry about that. My window is wide open because it's really hot in here. But just another little fun thing about Mugwort is that in other East Asian countries, Mugwort is actually used to keep out evil spirits and to exorcise demons. So if you do want to use Mugwort for protection, you can take a little pouch of Mugwort, and you can hang it anywhere. You can hang it. Traditionally, it's hung by the door, by your front door and windows, and it's said to keep evil spirits at bay. So that's pretty much all I have for you today on Mugwort. Again, it's an amazing tool. If you have an occult shop near you and they sell herbs, I highly recommend having Mugwort. It's a fantastic tool to have for your craft in divination, in scrying, astral projection, and things like that. Also, again, really good for protection. If you don't have occult shops near you, try a tea shop or try going through your grocery store and see if they have Mugwort tea. Some stores or even botanicas will have Mugwort as a tea and they sell it by itself in a little bag. Or you can try ordering it online. You can definitely order 100% Mugwort from like Amazon and things like that. If you do purchase it as a tea, please make sure that you look at the ingredients, because some teas will say, for example, and I see this all the time, it'll say chamomile tea, and then you look at the ingredients and it has like 6 other herbs in it. So again, just double check to make sure that it's 100% pure Mugwort. All right, folks, that's all that is for today. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. If you don't follow me on my Instagram already, please feel free to go and follow at Wicked Witch of LA. If you have any questions, again, just send me a little message, leave a like, comment, and make sure that you are subscribed. There's gonna be a lot more content coming up, and I will be posting a lot more regularly from here on out. All right, witches, thank you so much for joining me today. Blessed be, and please be safe out there. Bye-bye.